Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it was bad. It wasn't just a little slander. It was like locker room language is what it was. All right, we are live. You bet not.
Can you hear me, Stephen?
Yeah, man. You're up. Yeah, man.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You can pull that closer. No. You sure? I'll buy like Mitzi's 6 foot old. Oh, yeah. He's not old. I mean, fresh produce truck. It's always the best.
All right, we're going to commission fitness count session on the water reconnaissance presiding. Thank you. Please remain standing while Matt Rice leads us in our invocation, followed by our pledge to flag led by Commissioner Grindell.
God, we just humbly bow before you. We thank you for this great country that we live in. We thank you for the freedoms that we have here. Lord, we just thank you for this wonderful community. We thank you for the opportunity to serve here. Lord, and we just pray that everything that we do tonight will be according to your will. Pray that you give us wisdom, that you'll guide us. Lord, help us to consider the needs of our community as we deliberate these decisions. Lord, we just pray your hand of protection over our military, our law enforcement. Lord, we just thank you for them. Thank you for all the work that they do. And we just thank you for your son, Jesus. In his name, amen.
Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can be seated. When you're ready, please call the roll.
Brian Delp,
Here.
Jamie Harris, Jason Harris, Stephen Hendricks,
Here.
John Mosley,
Here.
Marie Rice, Matthew Rice,
Here.
Lauren Thomas,
Here.
Todd Wilcox.
Here.
8 present, 1 absent. Oh, is Doug Schultz present?
Yes.
And is Mayor Everly there?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Steve, just for everybody's information tonight, we are live streaming the meeting of our commissioners virtually. And advised that we need to the roll call vote item on the agenda. Take a little time to fix, but just take one. We'll proceed. Item 4 on our agenda is to approve the minutes of the prior session on January 25th, 2020.
Motion to approve, Matthew Rice.
Stephen Hendricks, second.
Any discussion? Corrections? Ms. Bo, if you're ready, please call the roll.
Murray Rice. Jamie Harris.
Yes.
Matthew Rice.
Yes.
Jason Harris is absent. Stephen Hendricks.
Yes.
John Mosley.
Yes.
Todd Wilcox.
Yes.
Brian Dell.
Yes.
Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 5, is recognized as business. I'd like to ask members of the audience if you'd like to address. Come to the podium, state your name and your business.
Hi, I'm John Day. Been vaccinated. No, yeah. It's muffled through in here. I just want to, I'm John Day, I'm from Irwin, of course. I want to talk about the proposed bike trail, but before I do that, can I ask you a question, get a little show of hands? How many people in the room own a mountain bike? 3 of us. How often do you ride it? Well, that waistline, I'm not sure. You need to ride a little more like I do. No, we're talking about a proposed bike trail, and I want to state it for the record because you've gotten emails from me about this, at least 3 or 4. I don't want, for the record, for you to know, I'm not opposed to this proposed bike trail. I want you to understand that too. I'm not opposed to anything that can benefit our county, benefits people here. But I do want to make sure that we've done our homework and that whatever we do to bring business into the county that's going to cost taxpayers some money, that we get a return on our investment sometime. And, you know, I've operated a lot of businesses and I've never not done that. And I've never had a business in the red in my lifetime, except 7 days driving in, which put us in the poorhouse, for a long time. But anyway, I just want to make sure, and I do a lot of work. I do a lot of research offline. Mr. Thomas knows how much I've done over the years, a lot of it, and I don't do it for myself. I do it for the people in the county. So when I send you emails and things that nature regarding these things we're proposing, is because I want us to have an awareness that we need to all be on the same page. We all need to be aware that we need to be looking at all these things from a business standpoint. And I'm working with the town now on the town fire hall. We're working on that. Some want to build a new one, some don't. I just asked the folks down there and I'm helping them out. Take a look at both alternatives. And so that's all I want to do. I just don't want people to think every time I open my mouth, I'm saying no to stuff and I'm the worst. Yeah, against everything, I'm not. But I want to make sure we get the bang for the buck. And so that's my involvement. I'll volunteer help if you ever need it. Mr. Thomas, we used to collaborate quite a bit years ago. You need research done, I've got a lot of time. And I'll be happy to research anything you send me by email, say, take a look at this, see what you can find for us. I'll just uncover some stuff and send it to you. I believe for you is the same if you need research done. I want to offer that help, Bubba, the mayor's office. So that's all I want to say. Appreciate you letting me talk.
Thanks, sir. Anybody else? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 6. Item 6 is agricultural extension services, introduction of new staff and updates.
Howdy, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys letting us speak this evening just for a few minutes. I know Karen told me I had 10 minutes. I'll just be as brief as possible. Just wanted to introduce our new staff member. This is Melissa Shelton. She took over as our family consumer science and 4-H agent for this county. Some of you probably know her or potentially are related to her, but I'm going to give her a few minutes to speak and introduce herself.
Hi there, good evening. I just want to say, first of all, what a privilege and honor it is to get to work in Unicoi County. I am fortunate enough to know some of you already. I look forward to bringing many things here to Unicoi County. There's lots and lots of opportunity here. I look forward to working not only with our youth, but also with our adults in bringing in family programs. I've already reached out to co-parenting. That's one thing we're going to be offering back soon. I'm sure many of you may be familiar with that in the report. And then we're also, even though schools have been virtual this year, we are still trying to get into those for the rest of the year. So hopefully you'll see us around. And anytime, if I can help you all with anything, or if you have an idea, just be sure to bring it to me, and I'll be more than glad to help you the best I can. Thank you.
Thank you.
Couple quick other updates I wanted to mention. As far as 4-H, we've doubled our numbers in chip change participants this year, so that's pretty exciting. Hopefully we'll get a few more money from that program coming in this year. Our virtual speech contest, those entries, if you have kids, those are due on Thursday. Remember, Haley did a really good one last year, so I don't know if she's planning on doing one, but that's due on Thursday. Our GPS team, they're working on their state program, mapping program this year, and they thought that because of COVID was so damaging to a lot of our local shops and businesses, while there's plenty of maps out there that highlight local shops, there's not really that are any specific to our community and our county. And so that's what our GPS team is working on. That way we have that resource for folks who want to visit or passing through Unicoi County. They can certainly pull that up somehow and look through that. We had a swine team this year. Basically, they grew show pigs and showed them, and we had a little fundraiser, and we had 5 participants this year with 6 head. We went to 3 shows. They did awesome. They all ended up being premier exhibitors at the State Expo, which was our biggest goal. Basically, that takes into consideration their skill-a-thon, which is their written knowledge, showmanship, and the confirmation class from the show pig. So that was pretty awesome. Camp is still a go this year. Don't know how, but that's just what we're hearing from the state. So I feel obligated to mention that. We're only going to have 25 kids, half of our normal numbers. So 25 kids. As far as ag goes, we just had our 2 minutes. We have our sheep and goat symposium that's coming up this Friday and Saturday. I think we have 6 in the community that are going to be participating in that. I don't know the dates offhand, they're on my calendar, but there is some virtual learning classes that we're doing in conjunction with Washington County. I know we just did a fruit disease one last week, prunings this week, and then we started gardening classes. Then the month of April and May is going to be livestock production, value added, beekeeping, something else I can't remember offhand. The other one, Master Beef, we just finished that up 2 weeks ago. Even with COVID, we still had 44 participants for that. So that's a little bit update. If you guys ever need anything, want anything, you know where to find me. So appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you all. Okay, this time we'll move on to item 7. Do we have any old business? I sent out an email to the commission last week, and Terry hey, you're both here, so, I want to congratulate you. We got a letter, of approval, where we had filed for, through FEMA and TEMA, for damages we had last March in our flood. I sent y'all them out last week. We've added the administrative cost to that, and wait, still that's pending. But the total we should be reimbursed is $197,321. And it was tremendous effort on Terry and Patty's part to get all the necessary paperwork filed and get it all done. I want to congratulate them in front of the commission because they did a super job with that. Hopefully we'll receive a check on that within the next couple of months. As soon as we do, I'll let you know that the check's in the mail. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
I'd also like to bring up on the McIntyre Spring project, we're about 85 or 90% done with that project, two homes construction. So hopefully the next 2 weeks, reimburse that project. So it's come on quite well, but even though we've been 2 months, they moved on it.
Good.
Kurt, I have a question. Will you have enough funds to repave and get that back into the shape it was before, or?
No, we'll have to wait till spring of the year. We've actually got to let traffic run on it for a while, set it out, but we'll be able to pay it when it comes time. We're lucky enough to get an asphalt payment. We get one. Not, yeah, we'll get, but not just a joke.
But you think later this summer, after it's settled, that you'll
Yeah,
be taking that back
Yeah,
on?
the money set aside to do it, but it all set aside, we still have credit being done.
Any other old business?
We did have a rafting and tourism committee meeting and had unanimous recommendation to refer the bike park project to the full commission. So that's on our agenda. We'll talk about that shortly.
Any new business? Any committee reports?
Lauren, the Budget and Finance Committee is looking to start March 18th, and I will send a calendar to all of the commissioners, letting you know the outline dates. Again, like last year, the target is to be completed with our budget on June the 28th for second reading and final approval.
June 28th?
That's the commission meeting that night, so that would be our second. The first reading would be June 14th.
Any other committee reports?
Prototype committee meeting, we didn't have a meeting last time, we're gonna have another one tomorrow at 1 p.m. This is basically over communications. We've been really struggling for years. I mean, I remember back in 2007, you hit dead spots, and that goes for EMS, fire, sheriff's department, especially on the north end and south end, some of those areas. What we've done is that we just said, well, we'll put this up and maybe I'll fix it. We did it here just recently. At 10,000. Then they was wanting to do a link and something else, which cost another 5,000. I felt like it was what we should do is get a study done instead of giving money away and just like putting band-aids on stuff. Because it really needs the infrastructure here of communications needs to be upgraded bad because we've just been neglecting it. Might be the right word usage, but we just haven't looked at it seriously. There's some other things with it too that, you know, we have 911 that's over just their entity, you know, their CAD, the system they do there, and basically the communication side, when we start getting into the maintenance of the towers, repeaters and stuff like that, sometimes the entity does it themselves, like Irwin will do theirs and Fire Association will do theirs, and we really haven't got down with who's doing EMS and the sheriff's departments. We haven't, I mean, it's falling on the legislative body. I agree with this, that was said that a legislative body shouldn't be over the communications like that. It should fall under somebody that's there 24/7. So we look at some couple of scenarios there. I've talked to some board members from different entities, how we can kind of fix this, and I'll get more input tomorrow. But I just want you guys to kind of, I don't know how much this would cost. So just make sure you keep that in the back of your mind. Me, I'm a big infrastructure person. That needs to be done first. I would love to build skyscrapers and all that other fun stuff. Just want to make sure that you all are aware that that's coming down the line. But there is another item on here as far as we thought we would get done with all that, but it didn't happen. So we'll get to that thing's line item 13. We'll get to that point pretty early on in the meeting.
And I would like to just pause and say thank you for all the hard work you put into that.
Well, I'd like to keep the fix before I get out of here.
Been a
We
while.
got 16 months. It probably is.
You're doing a great job. Any other committee reports? Okay, moving on. Item 8, discuss and vote on the unanimous recommendation of the Rafting Tourism and Economic Development Committee to commit up to $50,000 of governor's grant funds to be used for matching funds for Healthy Tennessee, ARC, or recreational trails grant. And this is subject to Town of Irwin matching that amount. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve those matching funds for that project.
Second, Jamie Harris.
Okay, Mitzi, the motion was made by Matthew Rice, second by Jamie Harris. Any discussion?
So just to update you guys on this, let me get my notes out on it. And I see Lee Brown is here. I don't know if we would want to entertain a guest to update us on it. Would that be okay?
Yes, sir.
Lee, you want to update us on it? I know you've worked a lot on it and maybe have some information.
I brought another board with me. You've probably seen this before, but you know, a good picture of the view from the top. Also, a proximity map that marks, you know, less than a mile from downtown Irvin, and you know, close proximity to the interstate. And then at the bottom is a kind of a trail diagram and the phasing that will be. Over 10 miles of trails can be constructed, and for mountain bike parks, there's over about 700 feet in elevation change that's very appealing to those. Plus, many of these trails are multi-use, hike and or bike. So, opportunity exists for a lot of us that will ride a bike to use it. People that possibly try something new and ride a bike, but we all, at least we got up here under our own power, we all could at least go walk. So, you know, a lot of things that this does, it helps us build our quality of life. You know, it can help us address some of our health issues, obesity, gosh, what a close proximity to the schools and the YMCA, and just other opportunities. You know, cycling's a new sport. There's scholarships being given. We don't know that some world champion couldn't come from right here in this community. So just a little background, we've worked on this for over 2 years, and through the Economic Development Board, we applied for this ARC grant last year, and we didn't get funded. And we applied with the match for the grant. Most grants, 90% of all grants require match funds. But our grant was the property. We had the property bank appraised, and we used that as our match. And ARC came back and said, you've got a really good property, but you don't have any money in it. You know, they didn't say it in these words, but in my words is, we're not going to invest in your community unless you put some money in. You put some money in, we'll put some more. So we've chased some other grants, a VW Volkswagen community grant, the power grant I mentioned, People for Bikes. We've got a grant pending right now with the Department of Health, Healthy Built Environments. They see the benefit of outdoor recreation to help combat obesity. There's also another recreational trails grant that we can chase later in the year if we need to look at that. So phase one, we've got, pretty well covered with the Healthy Built Environments grant and the cash contribution. We think we're covered there. We're wanting to use what we've put together for another round to try to get funding from ARC. This might be the last round of power grant money. We don't know that, but every time it's unsure if there's going to be another round of power grants. And this is new money that hadn't been available in the past. So we put together a budget, what we feel like that we can work with, and for that we have to have matching funds, and the minimum amount we can ask for is $400,000. And we're including some in-kind services, and you've got all that in front of you, and I'm not going to go through all that, but as Mr. Dave pointed out, these things really need, you need to think about it. And so one question's been asked is, why would Urban Utilities lease that property to the town of Irvin for $1 for a 30-year lease? Well, we've talked about that with the town of Irvin, and that is our way of saying we're willing to be a community partner in this. But that lease is a legal method to allow the town of Irvin to use that property for a park. Both our insurance companies have discussed this and enter an agreement that that would work. Our insurance company will insure us to be in the business of running a park. The town's also got experience in running and operating and maintaining parks. We don't really have any of that. Another question is an environmental impact study going to be required? Well, the answer is yes, and the answer is no. So we've talked to TDEC about that, and this is something that they support. It's already been done in Carter County, the Hampton watershed. TDEC doesn't require an environmental impact study. They do require us to adhere to the regulations and obtaining permits that are needed, like an aquatics resource alteration permit, if we have to deal with any stream crossing. When we're successful to get the ARC power grant, then we have to have an impact study. And that's part of the grant and part of the administration of the grant. So that'll be covered. Who on earth's going to pay for the ongoing cost of a mountain bike park and do the maintenance? The good thing about a mountain bike park is it differs greatly to traditional parks that do require a lot of maintenance. It's trails in the woods. One of the biggest things to have to deal with is a tree that falls. That's something that Urban Utilities is willing to help with and commit to. We have contractors that do that. They're real good at it, that can go remove a dead tree out of the way, keep the trails open. Then if there is some maintenance that needs to be done, there's volunteers groups, people that ride these bikes are very passionate about it. And there's an organization, the Southern Off-Road Bicycle Association. They have a chapter in Johnson City. They do a lot of trail maintenance. They told us, we're excited about your project. We want to help. So there's another avenue, plus volunteers that can help without any additional expense. Probably the biggest thing, if we're lucky enough to be able to get the grant funding and be able to have enough money to build a restroom, is maintenance of that. And that's something that we've talked to the town of Irvin about. And that's something that they felt like they could cover. Now, we've had all those conversations with the prior mayor and some aldermen that are no longer there. So we've got to have all these conversations again. What's this going to cost to maintain this thing annually? We don't have a budget for that. I don't maintain restrooms. I can't really tell you what that's going to cost, but the answer is I just don't have a budget for that. But it's going to be very low compared to other park maintenance. Is this this thing really going to attract people here? Well, NFS and other local business and industries can't always find the right people to fill their job with. They certainly, like us, would like to hire within our community. But sometimes you've got to try to attract people from outside of their community. And honestly, if there's not things for people to do, a paycheck's not what is always going to get people here. They're looking for a quality of life and an experience beyond what we look for in our lifetime. It's a different world. Plus, we'd like to have some stuff here for our kids that want to stay here and make a living, something that would entice them to stay here, not want to go off to someplace else. I think this helps. Is it going to be an end all for everything, and everything's going to magically be better, and everybody's going to stay here and work? No, but it'll help. How's this bike park going to compete with the others? Well, we don't really look like it's a competition. We look like it's an opportunity for people to come, people here in the region to experience this park, Henry Knob. There's others. Beach Mountain and Sugar Mountain. There's a lot of parks in Brevard, North Carolina, and around Cherokee. It's part of the experience. You can come and stay here and ride bike parks for a week or for a weekend. Could be a destination. Can we quantify all that? There are plenty of studies that cite outdoor recreation as a very lucrative business and increasing tax revenue. I don't have one specific for this park. It doesn't exist. However, the Northeast Tennessee Regional Economic Partnership got a grant from Power Grant to do just that, to do a study on how do we quantify the benefits and return on investment for what we do invest in outdoor recreation. So that's underway. Hopefully they're going to have some stuff back late this summer, early this fall, that begins to put all this in perspective for us as to what that can be, and set a baseline, and we can actually begin to measure and see what have we benefited from all the outdoor recreation. Another thing was mentioned, do we have a business plan? No, we don't. It's part. We're not charging people and measuring, what's our revenue coming in. The revenue is stuff that's hard to measure. Tax revenue. People stopping and buying, making investments. People that contribute to some of our local merchants that are in the business of outdoor recreation and other things. We do feel like that there's great benefit for our local business and industry. Walmart struggles in Bentonville, Arkansas, trying to attract and retain employees enough to keep their headquarters in Bentonville. And they got their heads together and they said, if we'll invest in outdoor recreation, and trails, bike trails, and arts, and several different things, it's going to make a difference. And they've done that. And last year they announced they're going to build a new 350-acre campus. Now, we don't have Walmart headquarters. I realize that. But somebody as big as Walmart sees the benefit, the quality of life for the community and for their employees. And this is just a small piece of building that. Your support tonight will allow us to go after this ARC Power Grant. If we don't have some matching funds, we're out. And I really feel like it's an opportunity because the governor has given the local recovery funds. It's money that you didn't plan on having. It opens the door for you to make an investment in the future like this. And we're asking for just a small piece of that, $50,000. And with that, you'll open the door and help us get there. I've still got more work to do. We've got to get the city on board with it. I agree. You know, we all need to be in this together. If we're not successful, you haven't spent it out. Haven't spent it out. So I just ask you to consider that, and it also, you know, it's going to provide a safe place for people that want to hike and be with their family and children, to be out of off the main streets, and a good safe place for children and families to go experience what we're blessed with all around us. So I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Before we let the commissioners ask questions, Lee, have you contacted, I was reading today, the Walton Foundation, has, on their website, that they're offering, grants. And I don't know if they're offering grants outside of it, or I don't know if you have you contacted Walton Foundation.
Today, that's how we got here. I'm glad you asked that question. That's how we got here. That's how we have a master plan today.
So we got.
It's through him, but it's from funded from the Walton Foundation. Yeah. Yeah.
The only other thing I want to say is, as far as maintenance costs, I simply sent the grass fish today, three studies on the maintenance costs depending on the surface on the, how the trails are constructed. So I sent those down to Bishop today. We're going to be looking over it, so they have an idea of the maintenance costs. Okay.
Thank you all for your attention.
Any commissioner have, or any other person here in the audience have questions for Mr. Green?
I have a couple of questions. On the town hall one, there's not been any communication with them, or we don't know what their stance is, or if they're going to support this.
We've still got to have more conversations with the town of Irvine, and we've been trying to get time to get on their calendar.
And when you're talking about, now you're looking at $400,000 grant with ARC at a 30% match, correct?
That's correct, and we've got the opportunity before it's submitted, if we can raise additional funding, that we could ask for money above that. But that's what we think that we can accomplish with your all's help tonight, if we don't find some other money somewhere else.
In my calculations of that, if at the 120,000, if you took the in-kind services and the Friends of O'Brien and combined it, you know, with the county, you know, it looks like it'd be around 48,000 for the county city park to make that 120,000 total. With that, I'm just wondering if that is basically what, in my mind, we need to support the match for the ARC grant, what I was looking at.
And I need your pledge of $50,000 to help me get there.
Any other questions? I have some questions. I think initially, this was, the way I interpreted this project was mostly a technical mountain bike trail. But now I'm seeing that it's now going to be partly hiking trails also. So how similar will this trail system be to like the Pinnacle Fire Tower Trail?
So I don't think you could even compare the two, but I'm glad you asked that. One thing, it will be for people that have really high skills in riding mountain bikes, but it also starts with the beginner stuff. I mean, you can go back, and you can probably ride better than I can. But it will have a little over 3 miles of green trail that's perfect for people to begin on. There's not 3 miles a day around here anywhere. It's going to be, that itself is a draw for people to come to, again, with their families, to experience, being on a bike. Plus, it's easy. Me and John can probably walk around and talk about this one day. But that's one differentiator that really make that shine for people who want to have that experience and come here with their family.
But is people hiking on these trails going to interfere with the biking, the mountain biking? Is it going to be like the same? I see a lot of the trails are hiking / biking trails. Some of them are just bike trails.
Yeah, so the ones that are labeled just bike, it's like the downhill, just screaming downhill, so they would be marked kind of like one direction, bike only, but you can see most of them are hike and bike, so it's multi-use on that map.
So, no, I don't think that'll be a problem. And of course, our master plan came from the International Mountain Bicycling Association, and they are hailed as the premier design company for bike trails and all things to do with mountain biking. And they wouldn't include that if it'd be a problem.
And do you think the biking part of it will attract more people than just people going to hike on it? Or you have any way of knowing?
I don't have any way. I've got an opinion, and so that's the best I can
Can you
offer.
share that with us?
I think from outside of the county, it'll be mostly bike. But I think here in the community, we've got a community that really likes to get out and walk, and I think our community will get a lot of benefit from that. And then they're going to be challenged to, oh, well, maybe there is something to this. Let's try something different. The other thing I didn't mention, if you'll pay attention, when you see these cars going up down the interstate with bikes on the back of them, they're usually pretty nice vehicles. And I'm gonna tell you that most of those bicycles cost way more than the first truck that I ever bought. And they probably cost more than a lot of people in this room's first car that's considerably younger than I am. People that are serious about this sport, they're not afraid to spend money on it.
I just had some thoughts on it. Like, we do the bicycle race every year on Temple Hill Road, and that has been very successful for many years. Brings a lot of people here. As far as the economic impact, that's a question I've had in my mind just today as well goes. What's our return? And it, like you said, Mr. Brown, it's hard to quantify how much money the county will get from this, probably next to nothing. But the town would benefit maybe, from people patronizing the gas stations and the restaurants and stuff like that. But I also am mindful of our community, and that our community needs stuff for families to do together. And I see the Pinnacle Trail out there in Unicoi is just always seems like it's packed full. The parking lot's packed full. I've hiked it, to the top. So this is a beautiful picture from the top, but is there going to be like, I don't know what that mountain looks like from various points on it, but I'm just trying to think if it's going to be attractive to people to hike on. There obviously needs to be some type of observation points, like where people can look out and see some scenery and things like that. Is that part of the plan too, to have a few spots where you can see out and maybe?
I think there'll be plenty of spots that you can see out there as far as having like a designated observation point or something. That's not in that plan right now, but if that's something that's a benefit, that's pretty easy to add.
I just think a lot of families likes to, people in our community, like you said, needs to be able to have something to do as a family. A lot of people utilize just the linear trail, go to the Pinnacle Trail, but this would be, attractive in my mind to, like you said, to the citizens here a walk-on. I don't know how many people does technical bike riding here, but, that still, I think it would be more attractive to our community as a hiking trail. You know, and I think that's something families can do together, but that's my thoughts. So I got a question for Mr. Cooper in the back, if you don't mind, humoring me for a minute. Who provides the maintenance and upkeep for the Pinnacle Trail? Do you know? Is it county?
That's a really good question. We're trying to figure that one out right now.
Does it cost the town of Unicoi anything? No? What about the parking lot and the bathrooms? Who's responsible?
We service those restrooms, periodically through the week. Make sure it has, then we have a cleaning service that comes in and cleans them.
All right. So that's on my curiosity.
You know, to me, I look at this project and I also look at partnership opportunities. I think of our friends at 4-H, and I think, man, that'd be a really cool partnership with them to have, you know, little explorer trails and biking opportunities. I think of Kiwanis and the opportunity to provide bicycles to kids and to families to take advantage of that trail. So I think this project has opportunity for not just funding from us, but really partnerships with other parts of the community as well to really pour into the community.
You know, $50,000 is a lot of money, and I look at things like we have other projects that could use that money, you know, that may be in more need, but this is certainly an opportunity to, you know, provide something for people to do that we may not have a chance to do going forward.
So, Lee, I have emergency services type question for you. Layout. I know it's not in stone. I know you could probably change it or whatever if you need to, whatever. Just kind of want to see what your mind thinks. So say you and John were out there solving the county's problem, walking this trail. You get down to about where the 261 marker is. It's going to be down towards the bottom of zone 2. John had a heart attack. I know the access road that Matt told me about only comes up through the portion up through there to zone 1. Is those trails going to be big enough for an ATV with a stretcher dolly to get to the person that's down, or and the only entry place am I going to have is zone 1, and I won't have to come in off Odom Branch and hopefully there's an opening there, or can you put an access into Odom Branch off that road?
So I was going to tell you about Odom Branch. I think there could be an access. And that's a really good point. We've not really looked at it from that perspective, but I know that most of the trails you could get your transport vehicle in because it's not that big.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't no like straight off cliff or something like a four-wheeler had to get on, because that's probably the most narrow vehicle you would have to get somebody on a stretcher and out of there.
Same situation is like the Buffalo ATV trail, and there's an accident in there on the Unicoi side. We have to go all the way around the
Yeah, you have to go to Washington, you can't access that road.
Pittsburgh. So my question, that makes me have another question. How wide are these trails? Because I've seen them on TV, you know, they're this wide, and people's flying down them out and jumping off jumps and stuff, that if it's gonna be big enough to pass somebody on or walk.
So the walking trails will be wide enough. The downhills that are not labeled for pedestrians are not that wide, but probably in kind of a medium width of 4 feet.
And do you know how those trails are going to be installed? Like, are you going to use a small excavator, or?
They have special trail building equipment.
In 3 or 4 feet, if it's 4 feet, an ATV could get in there. So if it's less than 4 feet wide, it'd be pretty tricky. Okay. Any other questions?
I
Mr. Dave's got one more question.
Pretty heavy water, rainwater runoff. Environmental assessment may address that. How much is that gonna affect the properties around the YMCA, that corner? And, so that was my question about it.
I don't think this would have minimal impact as far as runoff. I mean, it's area disturbance is minimal. I thought he was gonna ask me if I'd call 911 if you had a heart attack.
All right. That satisfy everybody's questions? Okay, Ms. Bowen, when you're ready, please call the roll.
Todd Wilcox,
No.
Murray Rice,
One question, this is subject to the town of Owen.
Yes.
I'm sorry, did you say yes?
Said yes.
Stephen Hendricks,
Yes.
Brian Dale,
No.
John Mosley,
No.
Matthew Rice,
Yes.
Jamie Harris,
Yes.
Lauren Thomas,
Yes.
5 yes, 3 no, 1 absent. Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Bowen. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Keep us up to date on that. Item 9, our monthly statement of revenues, statement of expenditures, and cash flow analysis. I just need a motion to accept.
Motion to accept.
Matt Rice. Rice, second. Todd, any discussion? Bowen, when you're ready.
Who's second?
Todd Wilcox.
Thank you. Stephen Hendricks,
Yes.
Todd Wilcox,
Yes.
Murray Rice, Brian Dale,
Yes.
Jamie Harris,
Yes.
Matthew Rice,
Yes.
John Mosley,
Yes.
Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent. Motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 10 is to approve to accept the minutes of the Unicoi County Audit Committee, 15 and January 29th.
Stephen Hendricks, motion to accept.
John Mosley, second. Any discussion?
Just looking over those, I saw the one item about having centralized accounting. Guess I would be interested to hear from the officers about that. We're gonna have another committee meeting about that, or what the process would be moving forward with anybody that's on that committee, or mayor, maybe. That.
This year, recommendation, I first brought up the commission, last year after they recommended it. And at that time, the commission chose no further discussion on it, so, I'm open if, the commission wants to discuss it, or office holder wants to. Last year, we brought it, there wasn't a lot of interest in it, but that's why, mayor, I think, before I, and I would think, for
And I know it was on the agenda for the budget and finance committee, but before COVID, so, and then COVID, I think, removed from that agenda.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we as a committee voted on this subject before we came. But I would, before we voted on it, I would have a committee meeting or something here in the office. Spend a little time discussing it.
We've had a lot of discussion on that topic over the years. Every time we go through something, it gets better. Certainly, I want to bring it up, debate it again. Okay, any other discussion on that item? Ms. Vaughn, when you're ready, please call the roll.
Brian Dale, Murray Rice, Matthew Rice,
Yes.
Stephen Hendricks,
Yes.
Jamie Harris,
Yes.
John Mosley,
Yes.
Todd Wilcox, Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 11 is to approve the Unicoi County for 2021. John Mosley makes motion to approve.
Jamie Harris, second.
Any discussion?
You still got that section of land that paid labor this year.
Build up a lot of roads to mature days, we need to work together, kind of pull it back. Be able to at least put time on it. Now that, during this winter, I got some roads really bad, there's a lot more needed than getting out just now. Yeah, it was hot, yeah, it was hot, it's no way across. It is partially. Temporary fix, right? They don't call here for the day, it's -10. Not very far.
What would it cost?
Probably the, probably that's, literally, I just think it's a lot wider than what it was. Probably looking at that $25,000.
It's very rough.
That's something that our peers, we turned out, peers have to do that. They'll pay that, is there any funds from the state that you can get to help?
The new grant funds, part one of the stipulations you can use for road, available in August. We still have governor's grant funds. Whatever.
I'm not, maybe it's still making less. I can redo it, bring it back to you. You, see what, you can set aside what you want to tell them.
We'd rather you pay for it than we would.
Give that penny back. This is that penny. Give that penny.
All right, any other discussion? Ms. Bowman, when you're ready, please call the roll.
Jamie Harris,
Yes.
Stephen Hendricks,
Yes.
John Mosley,
Yes.
Murray Rice, Matthew Rice,
Yes.
Brian Dale,
Yes.
Todd Wilcox,
Yes.
Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 12 is for information only. It's our remote work.
So noted.
Item 13 is to discuss and vote to establish a communication board. Second. Motion made by Todd Wilcox, table. Second by John Mosley. Go ahead. Okay. Motion's been made to table. Any discussion? Ms. Bowman, when you're ready.
Stephen Hendricks,
Yes.
Marie Rice, Todd Wilcox,
Yes.
Brian Dale,
Yes.
John Mosley,
Yes.
Matthew Rice,
Yes.
Jamie Harris,
Yes.
Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent, motion carried.
Thank you, Ms. Bowman. Item 14 is to vote on retainer agreement for resolution in support of drug dealer liability act lawsuit. Do I have a motion? Council's online. Anybody have any questions? Will we get a motion? Todd Wilcox, motion to accept. Do I have a
Second, Jamie Harris.
Okay. Any discussion or questions for council online? Hearing none, Ms. Bowman, when you're ready, please call the roll.
John Mosley,
Yes.
Matthew Rice,
Yes.
Jamie Harris,
Yes.
Marie Rice. Was it yes? Todd Wilcox, Stephen Hendricks,
Yes.
Brian Dale,
Yes.
Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Moving on to item 15, discuss and vote on giving the old EMA truck to the animal shelter. I make a motion.
Second,
Motion made
Jamie
by
Harris.
Second by Jamie Harris. Discussion? If I could just make a couple comments, the shelter's in very bad shape. A year ago or so, really bad shape. The truck out here needs about $2,500 in repairs. So the shelters managed to come up with that money for the repairs. They'll get a lot better and more useful truck. And we told as is, we might get, I think Jimmy, you said 2,500, 3,000 as is. So I thought it would be a lot better purpose for the shelter. Shelter's not been able to do all the fundraising they normally do also with COVID. Had to shut down for a while, so I just thought it would be a great benefit to them. So. Any other questions or discussion? Ms. Bowman, when you're ready, please call the roll.
Matthew Rice,
Yes.
Jamie Harris,
Yes.
John Mosley,
Yes.
Marie Rice, Todd Wilcox, Brian Dale,
Yes.
Stephen Hendricks,
Yes.
Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, one absent, motion carries.
Ms. Bowen, item 16 is the approval of our CARES Act funding.
Motion to approve, Matt Rice.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Bowen, when you're ready, please call the roll.
Marie Rice. John Mosley. Brian Dale.
Yes.
Todd Wilcox.
Yes.
Matthew Rice.
Yes.
Stephen Hendricks.
Yes.
Jamie Harris.
Yes.
Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 17, budget amendments. First one up is the election commission for the amount of $431.17. Make a motion to approve. Motion made
Second,
by-
Jamie Harris.
Motion made by John Mosley, second by Marie Rice. Any discussion? Ms. Bowen, when you're ready.
Matthew Rice.
Yes.
Brian Dale.
Yes.
Stephen Hendricks.
Yes.
Jamie Harris.
Yes.
John Mosley.
Yes.
Marie Rice. Todd Wilcox.
Yes.
Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent, motion carries.
Thank you. Next is the circuit court clerk for the amount of $1,418.
Stephen Hendricks, second.
Motion to approve by Todd Wilcox, motion for second by Stephen Hendricks. Any discussion? Good. All right, Ms. Bowen, when you're ready.
Todd Wilcox.
Yes.
Marie Rice. John Mosley.
Yes.
Stephen Hendricks.
Yes.
Jamie Harris.
Yes.
Brian Dale.
Yes.
Matthew Rice.
Yes.
Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent, motion carries.
Thank you. Next is Sheriff's Department for the amount of $20,302. Make a motion to approve. Motion made by John Mosley, second by Marie Rice. Any discussion? Ms. Vaughn, when you're ready, please call the roll.
Jamie Harris.
Yes.
Stephen Hendricks.
Yes.
John Mosley.
Yes.
Brian Dale.
Yes.
Marie Rice. Todd Wilcox.
Yes.
Matthew Rice.
Yes.
Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent, motion carries.
Next is Highway Department for the amount of $45,984.84.
Second, Matthew Rice.
Thank you. Any discussion? Ms. Bowman, when you're ready, please call the roll.
John Mosley.
Yes.
Matthew Rice.
Yes.
Brian Dale.
Yes.
Stephen Hendricks.
Yes.
Marie Rice. Jamie Harris.
Yes.
Todd Wilcox,
Yes.
Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 18 is to elect notaries.
Second.
Motion made by Marie Rice to approve, second by Stephen Hendricks. Any discussion? Dawn, when you're ready, please call the roll.
Brian Delt,
Yes.
Marie Rice, Matthew Rice,
Yes.
Stephen Hendricks,
Yes.
Jamie Harris,
Yes.
John Mosley, Todd Wilcox,
Yes.
Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
8 yes, 1 absent, motion carries.
Thank you. All right, at this time.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Motion made by Stephen Hendricks, second by John Mosley. Mr. Coleman, when you're ready, please call the roll.
Todd Wilcox.
Yes.
Matthew Rice,
Yes.
John Mosley, Stephen Hendricks,
Yes.
Jamie Harris,
Yes.
Brian Delt, Marie Rice, Lauren Thomas.
Yes.
Good night, everyone. Motion carries.
Thank you.